Hello and welcome to another family worship. Do you remember a time in the not so distant past when everyone was worried that we were gonna run out of toilet paper? Oh my word, do you remember what the stores were like? Everyone began to panic. Well, whenever we feel like there's a time where one of our needs is missing, we can start to panic or become scared. Today, we are going to be learning and talking about how God is our provider and how He gives us all of our needs. But first, we are going to play a fun little game called Find the Bread. And what you're going to need is some scissors and a paper bag. Now what you're going to want to do is cut the paper bag into pieces of paper about the size of a Post-it. If you don't have a paper bag, it's okay to use regular paper. And then after you've cut it up, somebody is going to go and hide all those pieces of paper or bread around the house. And when they've done it, you're all going to go look for the bread and bring it back and put it in a basket or in a bowl. And see how quickly you can do that. And then after you've played that game a couple times, go ahead and read today's passage, which is found in Exodus chapter 16, verses 1 through 4. So go play the game. Welcome back. I hope you had fun playing the game. And now we are going to memorize this week's verse, which is Proverbs 3:5-6. This is what it says. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Now to memorize this verse, you're going to need all those pieces of bread that you cut up earlier. What you need to do is take the pieces of paper and write out the verse, one word on each piece of bread. And then you're going to play the game again. Someone will hide all the pieces of paper or the bread around in a room, and then you're going to find it, bring it back together, and then put the words back in order for the verse. Say it a few times until you can memorize it. All right, go ahead and play the game. Here's a question for you. What's the difference between a need and a want? Well, a need is something that you have to survive. You can't live without it. A want is something that, well, you would really like it, but if you're honest, you don't need it, right? We're going to play a little fun family game, and I'm going to show a few pictures here, and you are going to decide if it is a need or a want. Now, for some of these pictures, you might disagree with other people in your family. If that's the case, go ahead, pause the video, and try to make your case for why it's a need or a want. And once we're done with this little game, we have a special guest who is going to tell us a special story about how God is provider.
Shalom! My name is Moses, and I hear that you are talking about God providing. Well, I wanted to come and share an amazing story of how God provided for me and for all of Israel. Well, it all started after God freed us from Egypt, where we were slaves. You remember that God parted the Red Seas and we were able to walk over and cross the Red Sea. And he wiped out the rest of the Egyptian army with the waters. And we were free and we were dancing. Oh, we were so excited. But it wasn't very long until we were in the desert. And you know what? The desert's a hot, hot place. Oh, and you know when it gets hot, you get thirsty. And we were all so thirsty, and we ran out of water to drink. Oh, well, you can imagine that people started to panic. Have you ever panicked when you didn't have something that you needed? Let me see your panic face. Yeah, something like that. Well, so we called out to God and we said, Lord, please provide water. And you know what? He did. We came across this place where there was water. We were so excited. We started dancing. Oh, I can remember it like it was yesterday. So we got down and we drank that water. And you know what we did after that? Patooey! We spit it out! Oh, it was disgusting. It was so bitter. It hurt to drink it. Oh, we were so sad. We were down in the dumps and we said, Lord, please, we need water. We're thirsty. And he told us, he said, you throw some wood in the water and it's gonna be good. And that's what we did. We obeyed God. And when we obeyed God, He provided. Oh, it was the most delicious water after that. We drank it all up and we were so happy until we weren't happy. Because you know what? Our bellies started to ache. Oh, you can imagine we were so hungry and we didn't have any food. So we said, Lord, give us some food. And He said, okay. And He provided from heaven manna. It was like bread raining down on us. And with that, he gave us quail or chicken. Oh, it was a feast and we ate until we were so full. And we were so happy. And then God astounded us. He amazed us because He provided something else that we didn't even know we needed. He gave us the Sabbath. Now, what's the Sabbath, you ask? Well, you remember that God made all of the universe in 6 days. And on the 7th day, He rested. And God said, listen, I want you to rest on the 7th day. You know, we were slaves before we were free. And so for Him to tell us we could rest, oh, it felt so good. Oh, and God provided us with rest on the Sabbath. And then we were so happy until we weren't, because we were thirsty again. And by the way, you can see all of this in Exodus 15, 16, and 17 in your Bibles. And I hope you look there later. We were so thirsty again. And God said He would provide. But this time He told me to do something that I thought was crazy. He said, Moses, there's a rock and you got a staff. And I want you to take that staff and hit the rock. So I got up just like this and I went kapooey. And guess what? Water came out of that rock. Oh, it was splashing everywhere. It was great. And we drank and we had the water and we weren't thirsty again. It was wonderful. All of that to remind you that God provides. That's right. You need to remember that, because there are times when maybe you feel like there's something that you don't have that you need. Now, sometimes God might provide, like food or water or clothes, but He can provide more than that. Sometimes maybe you need courage or patience. Well, guess what? God can provide. So, remember that. And now, here are some discussion questions for you and your family to talk about. Well, I'm Moses. Thanks for letting me chat with you. Shalom. Have a good day.
I hope you will remember that God is our provider. My question for you, what is it that you need God to provide you with today? We live in some uncertain and sometimes scary times. Do you need God to provide you with courage or patience or hope? Well, guess what? God is provider and He can do that. So close your time today and pray to God, thanking Him that He's your provider, and ask Him to provide for all your needs.